Before the production of my magazine, I had to really take into account my audience. To do so, I used the theory of Ian Gang, 1991, imaginary entity. The theory states that before creating a product, the companies create an imaginary entity so that they can target and tweak their product to this imaginary person who is their ideal audience member. In this case, it'll be a reader. So this is what I did. As it was a musical theatre magazine, I looked at what types of people are into musical theatre. I came to the conclusion young university students studying musical theatre, middle-aged people in amateur dramatics, and older upper class who see a lot of West End and amateur productions. So this is how I thought of a 20 plus age demographic. I wanted an equal gender split, so to do so I had to think of the content and house style colour. As typically there are more females in musical theatre, I thought of making the colour scheme blue a masculine colour and encouraging males to read the magazine. I also thought that putting more males in the magazine, this would encourage males to read, as they could be seen as an ideal self or the female's ideal partner, Carl Rogers. The cover lines used were about actors, an item of my target audience would be interested in. The same goes to about the album review of Alpha Boa, a musical theatre opera star. My other cover line was inside the industry. This was hints and tips of breaking into the industry, and it was done to appeal to my imaginary entity who wants to be a West End star, or at least on the West End. I also made up a collage of what my audience would like and buy. This is the collage. And these would also double up as my advert in my magazine. I also pitched my magazine ideas to a group of people. I created the presentation on Prezi, an interactive PowerPoint style website, and gave my pitch on who my model would be, my audience, and how I would facilitate for my audience. I also did other design ideas such as magazine front cover ideas and masthead ideas. I asked for feedback from the group by creating a survey on surveymonkey.com, where I got qualitative and quantitative results. Surveymonkey.com is a web application where you sign up for free and you can create a survey, send it to people, they answer it, and it comes up with graphs such as these. Qualitative feedback is detailed feedback and responses, which helps you understand exactly what the audience wants and helps you decide what ideas you're going for. Quantitative is ranking something, e.g. ranking something between 1 and 5, numerical data normally. The advantages of qualitative is that you know exactly what your audience wants, so you can really hit home what they want. The disadvantage of it though is that these are normally the questions on a survey that people skip because it looks like too much effort. Quantitative is good because it's quick, easy, and your audience don't feel like they're writing much doing it. The disadvantage is that you don't get as much information as qualitative. So with this feedback in mind, I started to create my magazine with the groups and ideas and feedback, along with trying to tailor this to my imaginary entity. I tried to make the mode of address peer-to-peer or teacher-to-pupil, as I'm talking to the audience to peer-to-peer in a way on the similar level of the interview is, as a person who's being interviewed is being very informal and chatty. The contents of the page, however, is arguably teacher-to-pupil, as I'm telling the reader what is in the magazine.